And we back. Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 58 of New Men Same Block, where we reinvent your mind to reinvent your grind. And I am your versatile, proficient, righteous, omnibus, prolific, exuberant, and reinvented host, the Proper Chris. How's everybody been? Blessed to see y'all. I had to do me a little sneaky episode during Ramadan. I know we said we was going to be in our hiatus. We wasn't going to be doing much, right? But I had to do this because today is Mother's Day. So happy Mother's Day to all the amazing women out there who didn't either birth a child, taking care of a child that wasn't yours, taking care of a niece, a nephew, a cousin, a family member, an orphan. Any child out there and any mother that you have dedicated your life, resources, love, and everything to that child, happy Mother's Day to you. Yeah, and you know, Ramadan's been going great so far. We almost done. I got like 3 days left, inshallah, and it's been blessed. But we ain't focused on that today. We focus on Mother's Day. And not only just Mother's Day. First, I'd like to say, shout out to my grandma. I love you. You was everything to me. Even shout out to my mom, you know. Without you, I wouldn't be here. Happy Mother's Day to you. But what I really want to dedicate this day to, and this episode, is my Auntie Elana. Elana Moore. The woman who, at 17 years old, had a nephew come in her household, and she took care of him the same way a mother would take care of her son. Sometimes, like really, above and beyond what most mothers got to go through. Now, Elana Moore, that's a great woman right there. Everything about her is nothing but love and just genuine passion. A real passionate and genuine person who loved to death. And beyond that, love you back to life. Even though she gonna talk a lot of mess, irritate you sometimes, even though me and her bump heads and all that, it ain't nothing but love. And as I done grown, she done pretty much became my best friend. Somebody I talk to, consoling, like, I understand what that type of love, of wanting to really love somebody and make sure they feel great about themselves, really feel like that, like feel like because of my auntie. Now, let's start with like the beginning. Elana Moore from San Francisco, California. She from Philmodians though, she won't tell folks. And she has always grown up as a person. I felt, she always felt like she had things to prove. And she wanted to make sure everybody around her was okay. Whether it's her friends, family, all of that. She wanted to make sure the people around her was doing good and okay. Even if you piss her off and do her wrong and all that type of stuff, she'll be mad, she'll talk mad, she'll say, oh, I'm done with this person. But ain't never done. Always be back, always there loving people. Just doing above and beyond. Giving folks a home who didn't even have one. Giving people a family who didn't even have one. That's the type of woman my auntie is. Now, when I was born and my grandma took me in, she couldn't do it all by herself. She was working. She dang near, my grandma was OG when I was here. And my auntie, she took in and filled in a role that wasn't there. While in high school, she used to take me to school with her on some real stuff. I'm a little infant child, baby, and all that type of stuff. And she takes me to school because, my grandma couldn't pawn me off on different people and all that type of stuff. So my auntie always took me in, always took me places. And if we talking about clothes, shoes, I ain't never grown up talking about I ain't never had enough clothes and enough material things because I swear, my first pair of walking shoes was some Jordans because of my auntie. And she like, no matter the new shoes, clothes, or whatever, she got it. Video games, got it. Made sure I had anything I wanted and needed. All the new little fashionable stuff, my auntie got that stuff. And I think one of the most significant things she did that most people wouldn't even like consider is that when she had her own children, it never felt any different. Things never changed. Her love was always consistent. She gave me sometimes, if not the same, but more than she gave her own children. And not in no bad way, just like in like making sure in her head, she said, I don't ever want my nephew to think that I abandoned him because I got my own kids. And for somebody who grew up, you know, distant from his parents and stuff, that meant a lot. And growing up knowing that and feeling that meant a great thing to, you know, my emotions, mentality, and everything. Now, you talking about somebody who worked their ass off. I ain't never not seen my auntie working. Like a woman she just took herself to work, no matter what the job was, whether it was Safeway, Starbucks. Shoot, if you've been to the phone services, you've been to Metro, you know that woman. For real. Working her ass off. Helping taking care of a family. You know how much it costs to raise a family in the Bay Area and in California? And for a woman, no fancy college degree or nothing, just graduated high school, put the effort of work on her back to help raise 3 kids, 2 of her own and her nephew. And time to time, always doing stuff for her other nieces and nephews, for real. Really out there putting in work, you know, sacrificing. And let's keep it real, you know, she a real one. Now, there was times we would argue like crazy. Because at the same time, it's like, yo, auntie is like your sister and mom at the same time. Especially when I call her old, but she ain't that much older. You know, having an auntie 17 years older than you, and especially in the generation we grew up in and all that, it seemed different. Me and her would talk about anything, play around, like, there's probably some stuff we would say to each other we shouldn't have been saying. But that's how tight our bond is and all that. And that's just what it be. And you talking about people who used to just argue and yell and debate with each other. That was me and my auntie, for real. But we just knew at the end of the day it was all love, no matter what. Now, I think what changed for the best when I got older, as I matured and seen things full cycle, because like I said, growing up for me, my mind and thought processes was just pulled all over the place and everything. But when I became a man, my auntie and my relationship became one of the best things ever. Knowing that at the end of the day, somebody who got your back and I got her back to the last breath in my body. Knowing that all the things, because she stressed herself out about everything. And just knowing that I know I want to keep going forward and making sure her crazy self don't run herself to death. And she ain't even got to worry about everybody like that because it ain't all on her by herself. It's not. Now, I remember when I was joining Alpha, right? We talking about selfless leader, being selfless, leading by just giving yourself to the people and serving. It carried in my mind like, that's my auntie. You know, people would talk about, the Dr. Kings and Malcolm X's, even throw the prophets in there, peace be upon them. My auntie put in that kind of work and love. And when you really think about it, that's the representation of a mother. Sacrificing, dedicating, fully and loving on the children. And it's up to, dedicated mothers to really put their best foot forward and raise a whole universe. Because women is like oneness with the world, oneness with the universe and how it works. They birth the world, they birth existence, and they nurture it. And that is nothing ever to downplay. Never. Never to be demeaned. It is beyond understanding, because sometimes as a man, I look at what some women do for their children and all that, I'll be like, what? But I ain't got that understanding. I, as a man who is a leader in the community, had to learn from my auntie and other women that what that real servant leadership, that love, that compassion really means. And by learning that as a man, it took me to a whole nother level of what I do. Because I give my heart, I give my time unconditionally. And I go all the way in with it. Shoot. And to my auntie, because she go watch and listen to this, I want you to know, I know there's a lot of things that trigger you, drive you crazy, and stress you out. But knowing you all these years, dang near 30 years, I definitely see a great change happening in you. You are becoming more understanding of yourself, the world around you, and you becoming at more peace with your stress and the things in your life. Your next years to come is going to be something special. And you got to love and learn to embrace it. And it is happening. In our conversations, I see the growth. I see the change. I see the reinvention. It seemed hard at times. And I definitely know, you be feeling down, feeling low. But everything's going to be great, not only because of yourself, but because of the people around you who care about you. And you are a great mother, a great auntie, great sister, great friend, all the above. And happy Mother's Day to you. And I love you. And you know I love you. So we ain't even gotta play like that. And one day, I promise you, you won't be surviving no more. You'll be living your best life. Mentally, physically, spiritually, everything. Now, I got to touch on a few memories. I be joking sometimes because, so me and my auntie used to play a lot, right? And one time she had the iron on. And, matter of fact, hold on. Yeah, she had the iron on, right? And I could have swore she playing too much, burnt me on my ribs with that iron. I'm snitching. Nah, it wasn't on purpose. It was an accident, but I was trying to bother and play too much. And back then, black folks ironing on the bed and stuff. And yeah. But the funny part about it was, good times and everything. Everybody like, when Penny got burned by her mama with the iron and all that. People would think that, oh shit, she out here burning kids with the iron. And nah, that ain't what happened. It was just a funny situation. Because I did go to school like, hold on. It wasn't a big burn, just a little boom. But my funniest memory, though, I didn't kill grandma's bird. See, my grandma, she had this bird back in the day, right? I think a parrot. And one day, it was me, my auntie, and one of her friends, at the house. And my grandma came back home and that parrot was dead. Somehow, supposedly, it was blamed on me of why the bird died. I think my grandma know better. I did not kill that bird. Mm-hmm. I ain't gonna let my grandma go to the grave thinking I killed that bird. I ain't killed that bird. Not at all. Nope. And then honestly, I have so many memories with my auntie. So funny, something hard, all that. Loving. One of the memories she hates the worst is, when I did something stupid, ended up someplace where I wasn't supposed to be. Uh-huh. And when I was about to have a daughter, my auntie was there all the way through, no matter what. Even after, really just always there for me. Got through college because of her, always being there, rooting for me. Got through high school because, she cussed me out every day, woke me up in the morning, took me to school even though I left as soon as she dropped me off. No matter what, I'm just glad she was always there pushing me, always there on my side, and just saying that you ain't gonna be no effort. That's one thing she wanted to make sure, that there would be no excuse to why I ain't make it to where I'm at now and why I can't keep growing. There's no excuses. And she showed me that, and she live it every day. You need something done, you go get it done. And there ain't gonna be no outside reasons of why you ain't make it happen. Shoot. Now let's take it back a little bit. I hope everybody just been well. And I got my new episodes out on YouTube, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts. Subscribe, like, comment. Let me know what y'all think. I'm trying to grow this thing. I'm trying to build an empire. And when Ramadan is over, I'm about to flood y'all with some new great content, great media, all that. Because it's a lot to talk about, a lot of things to be changed, a lot of minds to be reinvented. Because that's what I'm here to do, reinvent your mind and reinvent your grind. And part of this process is understanding that all the women in your lives who take, especially men got to listen to this. Pay attention to the women in your lives. The love they give. The things that they do. Even if it don't come from the love of the woman who's supposed to be the ones giving you that main love, pay attention to the ones who have. Find that love, find that passion, and learn how to give it back and accept it. I appreciate everybody. And let's start the discussions of how we could praise motherhood every day. It don't gotta be, overextended because people burn out, but little things, Mother's Day appreciation every day. And I want everybody to be, enjoy this day and understand, even if your mom not with you no more, still embrace and know that love that you had, and embrace the love of the women in your life and the mother role models and mother figures in your life that have taken place in making you become whole. If you don't feel whole, try to grow that into you. Do that healing. Love everybody. Peace. I love you, Auntie Elana. And real quick, anytime I call her Auntie, because I usually just call her Elana, right? But every time I call her Auntie, she knows dang well I want something. And if I ask her at the right time, no matter what, she always go get it. I love you, Auntie. Happy Mother's Day. Enjoy yourself. Embrace change. Embrace growth. And things gonna be better. Peace. And at the end of the day, happy Mother's Day to all the women out there. All the aunties, all the women who played a role in my life. Happy Mother's Day. Love y'all.